face in our life. We pray that you would give them boldness to step out in faith and in mission and ministry. Give them joy as they serve you and as they serve one another. And give them hope that they are making a difference in the world. So guide their days and deeds as you have been with them in the past, so too be with them in their future. In your holy and life-giving name we pray. Amen.
Alrighty, we will start off with the opening hymn, The Church is One Foundation, page 654. No, yes. What's that? Oh. Oh. Would anybody like to play the organ or the piano quick? Jake? All right, sounds good. All righty, Pastor, would you like to lead us off? Oh.
We're all going to do the first verse, and then the women will do the second, and the men will do the third, and then we'll do the fourth and fifth together. Okay? Got that? So everybody together. The church is one
Foundation, Jesus Christ, the new creation, the water and the word. From heaven he came, suffered, to be his holy bride, with his own blood he bought her, and for our life he died. With scornful wonder, the seeds were oppressed, by the students rent asunder, by distress. Yet saints their watch are keeping, their cry goes up along, and soon the night of weeping shall be the morning song. Trial and tribulation, and the tumult of her war, she waits the consummation of peace forevermore, till with the vision glorious, her longing eyes are blessed, and the great church victorious shall be the church of rest. Yet she on earth has union with God three in one, and mystic sweet communication with those who rest as one. O blessed heavenly Chloris, Lord, save us by your grace, that we, like saints before us, may see you face to face. Alrighty, thank you. We will start off with the reading of the annual minutes from the 2025 annual meeting.
The 155th Annual Meeting of Sevilla Evangelical Lutheran Church was called to order by President Josh Larson. Josh led the congregation in opening prayer prepared by Pastor Dean Johnson. The traditional hymn, The Church One Foundation, was then sung by the congregation. Jacqueline Larson, parish secretary, read the minutes from the 154th Annual Meeting. A correction was requested to correct the year from 21 to 24 on the audit report. It has been corrected. A motion was made and seconded, and all in favor of accepting the corrected minutes. A few comments were made by President Larson that we had a banner year with many people joining church. Sunday school attendance has increased along with congregational attendance. Josh thanked everyone for their tremendous support of Sevilla Church Project. He stated that we were truly blessed by the giving of our members and our visitors who met our 2024 budget requirements and donated $15,000 to local charities. The remainder will be kept over for the 2025 in case of emergencies or unexpected expenses. Ministerial acts are to be read by members on their own time. Scott Johnson from the Auditing Committee can report all the financials and reports were found to be in good order. Tellers were reported. The tellers that were appointed were Doug Johnson and Jean Gatewood. Doug Hop, Church Treasurer, reviewed the financial report from 2024. Doug reported a longer version of the expense report is available for members to read. The church's year-end bank statement was $35,957.95. This was after the church made their $15,000 year-end donations. Doug said that the line of credit loan was taken out for the new park equipment is paid down to a zero balance. He also said the church has a $15,000 operating line of credit since 1992 for emergencies that has never been used. Doug said the church has a $30,000 CD that comes due in March as well. A motion was made and seconded and passed to accept the 2024 audit budget. Doug Hop then reviewed the 25 budget. He said that the Steward Financial Estate Committee decided to keep the budget the same as last year as there's only a 0.0037% change. Some costs increased and some decreased, so the budget was redistributed to meet the 2025 budget needs. The SFE board agreed to give monetary honorariums of $250 to the lay people who are preaching or speaking while Pastor Dean is in Arizona. Doug reported that we will continue to give 10% of our monthly contributions given to the Senate, Lutheran Social Services, Green Light Lutheran Ministries. Since we ended up with a positive balance this past year, we were able to make our monetary commitments to these organizations. Doug said that we needed $2,610.48 a week to make our budget. Doug also thanked the congregation for their generous contributions. Doug encouraged anyone that is interested in learning more about Seville Lutheran Church's finances to attend the SFE meetings. He also encouraged everyone to look over the bulletin board where the thank yous are posted and that Seville has received from the organization that Seville donated to and others. Doug also told the congregation that there is money for children to go to Bible camps and their Sunday school need. If the Sunday school needs anything, Seville Church will make it happen. Budget ballots were cast with 45 yes and 0 no to accept the 2025 budget. Several people were thanked by their services this year. Members are invited to read the financial reports on their own. Old business, outgoing council members Christy Swanson, Carter Christopher, Jake Vernick, and Tucker Swanson are thanked for serving the church council. There was discussion regarding new computers for the sound system and the online streaming problems. Scott Johnson said that the new computers helped with the technical issues they were having. The online streaming issues were resolved, and Lois Nelson volunteered to place mics up front with the children reforming church. New business. President Larson thanked everyone and told them that he appreciated being a church council president. He also thanked the Sunday school and confirmation teachers for their willingness to teach. Josh reminded them to ask Doug Hop for anything that they needed to teach. President Larson read the nominated church positions for 2025 and thanked them for their willingness to serve. Questions were raised about the Senate delegation. A motion was made and seconded. All in favor to adjourn the 155th annual meeting at 12:21 p.m. The closing hymn and table prayer were sung. A potluck dinner was served after the meeting. Respectfully submitted, Jackie Larson.
Thank you very much. Can we have a motion to approve the minutes of 2025 annual meeting? Okay, do we have a second on the motion? Second? Okay, so Holly Hop made a motion, Jackie, pay attention. I've always wanted to say that. Holly Hop made a motion to accept the minutes, and then Louise second. Alrighty. Do we have any questions on the floor for the motion? Okay. All those in favor say aye. Okay. All those opposed say nay. Okay. Motion passes. We have comments from Pastor Dean Johnson on page 4 that you can read at your leisure. He is currently enjoying a church service in Arizona, and he did say if we have any questions, we can give him a call, but I don't know that we have any, but feel free, he said, to give him a call at any time or with any concerns. Yes, as far as Pastor Dean goes. As far as comments from me, again, I would like to thank everybody for all their hard work over the course of this last year. I think we did an awful lot of stuff in 2024, but in 2025 we did way more. Between all the park projects we did, between the fundraisers and the building projects and the new park equipment and the playground that got fixed, and the ball diamond that got fixed up, we did a very tremendous year. Again, from people donating time and money, it was greatly appreciated. If we want to have the congregation around another 155 years, those are the things we need to do, and I think we're in a very good standing to continue the church. Once again, thank you. We're definitely headed in the right direction. We had some young members join through baptisms, and we also lost a few good folks, but we will keep them in our prayers. Other than that, that's all I have. As far as 2025 ministerial acts, those are on page 5. You can read those at your leisure when you get a minute. And then as far as financial audit for 2025, can we get a verbal verification? I suppose, is Scott here? No? Jackie, Brian, Gorns, and Kim. Kim, how are the finances looking?
In good order.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so the finances were in good order. Again, thank you, Douglas, with that. Can we appoint some tellers? How about Brent? Would you like to be a teller? And since Jake is already standing, would you be available to be a teller? Huh? Oh. I didn't. Oh, he's on the ballot? I guess you can't. All right. So we need 2 people that are not on the ballot. Diane, Jacob, you willing? Okay, so thank you. The 2 tellers are going to be Diane Johnson and Jacob. And then Douglas, would you like to give us the presentation of the general fund for 2025?
If everybody would turn to page 6. If you take a look at it, you can see how the income is determined and how it was received. There is now a, so that we are, respectfully, we have had very good gifting and offerings this year. When you consider all the activities like Josh had mentioned that we had going on, we were still able to come within our budget. Actually, if you look at the very bottom, our budget amount was $136,245, and our budget expenses were $133,988.85. But we had non-budgeted items about $85,000. Now, I can see some people wondering what makes a non-budgeted item. One of the items is, you can see where I've got under the building maintenance, I got a non-budgeted item. In other words, we did not account for it. And that was $23,708.63, and that's made up of, just so everybody can be aware, but again, just keep in mind, any questions you have that I can answer on here, feel free to get a hold of me, and we'll walk back to the office and we'll look at the computer, which can generate any report that we need or document anything that we did. One of the major things is that the congregation, we come to the end of the year in the building fund, which I'm also treasurer of, since we had a lot of activity going on at the park and around the church here. The finance committee and the council approved that the church would pick up the negative balance that was in the building fund from the park project, which came to the tune about, I'd say about $12,600 the congregation picked up. So that's why it's part of that non-budgeted building area. And then if you go down to ground maintenance, We had non-budgeted items there also. And so that you know, the park project, the mowing, we've had more mowing this year than we normally have because of all the constant rain. I think we're mowing about every week. The only thing I've ever heard is that it looks nice. People like the way it looks. The other thing is that those would be the two major changes. And under our benevolence last year, we committed $5,000 to the Water's Edge Ministry, which used to be the Green Lake Ministry. Now it's going to be called Doing Business as Water Edge Ministries. Again, we then also, because of the fact the way we wound up the year end, was determined that we could give to the Global Missions Committee $9,900 from our operations this year. Because, so that we would wind up with some carryover into next year, which comes to about just under $25,000. We're going to carry over into 2026. And then we met our normal benevolence to which we committed to, which was 10% of $12,400. I'm not truly doing the $12,400 as 10% because the fact, I think the committees of both the finance and the council have agreed we would commit $12,400 to the four benevolences that we commit to. And the way that is arrived at is we take what general fund offerings come in, and any fund that's not committed, like the building fund, does not get added into the calculation. But we've only committed now to $12,400 a year to any of we have the four benevolences, which is the Synod, the Green Lake Ministries, the Campus Ministries, and Lutheran Social Service. That's what comes out of the 12-4. And then you can see the other parts of our budget, the celebration, what that cost us. And that was a non-budgeted item of $92.85, and we've received only $44.75 to date. So that's what the annual report to the congregation from our operation for the Surveil Lutheran Church. So are there any questions that you might have of me? Feel free to ask, because there is no wrong question. It's only one that's not asked. Okay, so then I'll turn it back over to Josh.
All righty, thank you. Proceeding on to the presentation of the 2026 budget. Would you want to take back over, Douglas?
Yep, I can.
Thank you.
But I had to get your permission to do it
Yeah, I
first.
appreciate it. Yeah,
Okay.
yes, by all means.
Okay. If you'll turn to page 7, which is the next page over, it shows what we've set up as a proposed budget. And this was done by the Finance Committee and then passed by the council and being brought to you. As you can see, we've maintained some of our disbursements the same. Because of the work that was created for Jackie this last year, and the monies that we're needing to spend, and hopefully next year it won't be as busy for us, for her, but we have increased her salary. The property manager will stay the same. The supply pastors will stay the same, and same with Pastor Dean. The benevolences, as you see there, have not changed. We've only, when I was wrong, when we committed to the Green Lake Ministry, we've committed to a 2-year, $5,000 donation to the Green Lake Ministry. $5,000 was last year before the year end, and then this year at year end, we will give them $5,000 more because of the big building or changing project that they're going on out there. Then if you go through there, based on the increase up on the top for Social Security, one of the big changes is insurance cost for our properties. And I think everybody has experienced a little bit of that last year. The fuel costs are pretty flat. They stayed pretty much the same, and so I've lowered that amount, because right now I believe we carry a credit about $2,500 going into 2026, because we pay a monthly fee for our natural gas. Utilities have changed very little. Our property is remaining, the repairs have remained that the same. The church supplies, copier, the only thing I might say there is that we are going to be looking at a different copier printer setup than what we have. I think it's getting fairly old and it doesn't always function properly. So we need to be looking at that this year. The worship and music has remained the same. All the others remain pretty much the same. Again, just to emphasize that the youth ministry does have funds available for Bible camp and any other project that they might want to take on. And right now, so Teresa Johnson has been graciously been our secretary, our treasurer. And the same thing goes for the Sunday school. Any needs that are met. In all the years I've been here in Sevilla, I have never yet heard the church say, we're not going to fund our kids. And so that's one thing that has been very good for us. Then a delegate, again, we didn't spend last year's delegates, what we had budgeted for, but we left it the same. We're going to increase our custodian. We're going to give him another $30 a month. I believe that's what it gets to be. We're currently giving him $600 a month, and we're going to increase that so that he gets the, I guess it was $30 a month that we're going to give him. Because the fact is,
I think it's 25 a month.
okay, 25. I'm wrong. Josh corrected me. 25. Okay, 300. That's right. So we're going to give him, a $25 raise. And one of the reasons is he does an excellent job. I've not had anybody say, he didn't do this or that. And the other thing is that we were told by Pastor Dean at one of our finance meetings, it's hard to get a custodian, someone to take care of the things. So that is why we've been done that. And we've increased our mowing, snowing, blowing area by $2,500 based on our current cost that we paid last year. Hopefully we won't have as much mowing. Then our sewer assessment remained the same. I checked with the Whitefield Township Board. They're not changing what they charge us for the sewer project, or the project that we had. So as you can see, we've increased our total by, you can see it's roughly $14,000. And so that this year the increase is 10.34%. So we're going up 10% this year in our budget. If anybody's got any ideas how we can trim any of this, feel free to let the congregation know and the council know, because we can, at that point. If we don't have an expense for it, we don't spend the money. It just stays in our checking account. So that's all I have, unless anybody got any questions about the budget.
Do you know how much that will increase during the week?
Yeah, we go from 2620 to 2891.
There we go. Thank you.
That we need, so. Okay, I'll turn it back over to Josh.
All right. Thank you, Douglas, and thanks again for all the work you do over the course of the year. I don't know what we will do when you decide to retire. Maybe someone can graciously donate their services in the future, but hopefully that's not for a very long time. Would anybody like to make a motion to accept the budget? Douglas? All right. Would anybody like to second that motion? Christie will? All right. Does anybody have any questions on the proposed budget for 2026? Louise, do you have something? No? You're good? Okay. All righty. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Okay. Fill out your ballots, and the tellers will be around to pick it up. If you need to, hand them to one of the little girls. They'll see that they get picked up.
right, as the tellers are going around picking them up, we will go through the options for our annual meeting ballot. All right, church council, which is a 3-year term, and you need to vote for 3. Options are Lori Burks, Carter Christopher, Brent Landon, and Gretchen Lindblad. As far as church council youth, 1-year term, vote for 1, Levi Swanson. Cemetery board, which is a 3-year term, vote for 2, Rayanne Erickson, Christy Swanson, Terry Swenson, and Jan Thompson. Senate delegates, we are looking for volunteers for that. So if you would like to volunteer for that, you can just write your name in. I think that would be perfectly fine. Head usher, 1-year term. There's a first place one, so put a 1 behind that name, and then for second place, just put a second place. Dan Swenson or Matt Erickson. And then for nominating committee, it's a 1-year term. Vote for 2. Options are Gene Gatewood or Josh Larson. Auditing committee, which is a 2-year term, vote for 1. Scott Johnson or Brian Gorns. And Brian Gorns is a standing member currently on that. So if you want to, what's that? Oh, okay, so vote for 1, but Brian's already on for next year, which kind of doesn't make any sense, but it'll all shake out in the end. Does anybody have any questions?
Question on the ballot, on the one that was a voted for council, it said vote for 2. Just want to clarify, is it vote for 3? Is that correct? Is it vote for 2?
Oh, I apologize, for church council, it is actually vote for 2, so.
If you actually voted for a third person, you should probably cross that off.
Yes, so, my apologies in that. So vote for 2. And if we have a tie, we'll just have to revote. What was that, dear? Have 3 on there? I wonder how we should do that. Diane, do you have any idea the ones you picked up previous to the 2 to 3 switch? Or should we just add them up and see how it shakes out? Okay, all right. My apologies, I take blame for that. Diane? Oh. Is anybody getting hungry? Kim's got one in the back too. All right, budget passes 43-0. And as Dean Johnson would say, if we could get stuff in politics to pass that way, things would maybe go a little smoother. All righty, well, we'll just wait on our presentation or our results for the church council. But as we go a little further, the church reports, financials, and summaries for the committees, those can be looked at your leisure. They're in the back of today's information. Yes, dear. Do we have any volunteers for the Senate delegate?
Pose a question on that. Do we have any benefit to our congregation to sending someone to the Senate delegate?
So I believe the last time we had a Senate delegate go, it was Doug and Holly. What are your thoughts on the Senate and being a delegate these days? I mean, what's your thoughts? How about that?
I guess what I would say is that there are two ways you can attend it, either in person
Yep,
or you could do it online, and you vote online.
okay,
The one thing that I and Holly experienced going down is that one of the reasons we agreed to go is because of all the fellowship that we have created over the years of attending the Senate delegate, as a delegate. We went back the last time we did just to meet, to see who was there and who we could meet, and that knew about us. But they had condensed everything to one room, and then they did stuff online. I said, they condensed it to one room, that's where the whole meeting was held. Before, it used to be the whole campus.
okay,
I mean, they had a lot more going on.
okay,
And, but again, like I said, we went, and after coming back from that, we said we would never do it again,
okay,
because we were not impressed with it.
yeah,
And what we heard wasn't, it didn't see how it all related to some of us
okay,
in our congregation. So that's my feeling anyway.
okay. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it. If anybody would like to sign up for that, when does that usually take place, Doug?
In June, first part of June.
Okay, so between now and June, if somebody or a couple would like to sign up for that, you can either talk to me or Jackie. And where do they normally have that at, Doug? Okay, at St. Peter, so. Okay, so you can go overnight or just go for the one day? Okay. Okay, yeah. Okay, so it's a one-day event, so if anybody's interested in that, we can get the information for that in the future, so. Levi, do you want to volunteer for that? I seen you got up. Okay, just checking. Alrighty, as we wait for the ballots to be tallied, is there any old business anybody would like to discuss? Jake, do you have old business? I have new business. Okay. Do we have any old business, or should we jump to new business? Okay, I think we'll jump to new business. Okay.
Do it from here. So, something I thought of this morning for new business that I thought we could consider, and I also realize I'm probably putting myself in danger of more work. But considering our weather today, our technology, and the number of snowbirds we have, I would like to see if we want to entertain the idea for future congregational meetings to open it up for a Zoom and a Zoom voting. So people can join us via Zoom, and then we can collect votes in that manner. So that's the discussion I'd like to have this morning. What is everybody's thoughts? Uh-oh.
All right, does anybody have any thoughts on that? Oh, Lois has a thought.
Imagine that.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it, but,
Oh, I'll say it for you. Actually, I think that's a really good idea because, sometimes it's questionable and that those that go down south or, can't make it here would definitely be included. So thank you, Jake, for bringing that up. I feel that's a very good positive.
okay. All righty.
Yep. be right over there.
Thank you, Jake, for running.
This is a good way to fill time while Diane finishes counting.
The one thing I've been thinking about this past year and then this upcoming year, I know we've been project to death, but I think one project that we need to look at, consider, and it will involve probably some cost. I've talked with Mike about it. It's about our project on the wall over here, outside or inside. I'm not sure where the problem is, but you can see it downstairs where the wall is black and the rest is white.
Okay.
Something needs to be done.
So just to catch people up, this south wall has a leak in it
Yep,
somewhere that we aren't real sure exactly where it's coming from.
correct.
And we think it's possibly in the brick mortise? Is that what we're thinking? So. Okay, and it ends up basically kind of in the dishes room? Is that where it shows up the most, in the basement?
It shows in the fellowship hall.
Okay, the fellowship hall, and then do we get issues in the dish room, I would call it, where we have the carts for picking up? Okay.
Yeah.
So just so people are aware of that's an issue that may need, I
And-
mean,
and
I know
the-
Mike has brought that up before too, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that I think we need to look at seriously.
Yeah,
We're
and,
going down the future. And then also, we have a water problem that needs to be addressed somehow.
Okay.
And I know we are hindered by the fact that our cemetery is so close
yeah.
to the north side here,
Now, the water problem you're talking about is
the flooding.
the issue we had during our fundraiser when everybody and their brother was running a shop vac?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so
And
just,
while we were gone, so.
yes, well, you're good about that. No, I'm just kidding. So everybody knows that, yeah, when we had all that rain this past summer, we had spots that took a lot of water in, so.
Okay, because the other thing I was thinking about, I know I'm talking too much today,
You're
but
fine, you're
the other
fine.
thing I was thinking about is that, you know, I was talking with somebody here at Donovan Stewart's funeral, and he was impressed with our windows that went around the basement. I told that was a new project. And I told him how we funded it, and he just was blown away.
Yeah,
That, you know, we were able to do that, and somebody funded the windows. But, you know, that's the other thing that we can look at, is if we're doing this wall, is have them fund the brick.
yep,
They can adopt a brick or something.
yep, or a couple
You know,
bricks,
so
or,
people can contribute to it and feel good of what
Yeah.
they're accomplishing.
yep, no, I
We
agree.
won't put metal plates on there, on each brick.
No, we won't
but-
label each brick, I agree, I agree.
But anyway, I'll turn it back over to Jake.
That might get time consuming to label each brick, so.
Should we look at having a item in our budget, or wait, not in our budget, our building fund, having an item in there for water mitigation?
Okay,
Okay, then people can donate to water mitigation, or
Okay.
how you want to buy a brick or water mitigation, how we want to word it, but we should have something like that set up. Needs to be, the vessel needs to be created before we can put something in it.
okay,
Okay. So with that point I had made earlier about the electronic voting, I think that would allow, we would have to do a amendment to our bylaws to allow for that to happen.
yep,
So there's a point of parliamentary inquiry.
yep.
Is that something we want to try and make a motion and vote on today, or we want to wait till next year?
We'd have to run it, we'd have to
We'd have
list
to
a
run it
vote.
through 3 committee meetings?
Yeah.
Or 3
Three
notifications?
meetings. Yep,
Okay, then we'll leave that to council to figure, the new council can figure out how to approach that and how they want to do it, and if they want to have
Yeah,
a meeting to amend the bylaws in such a manner.
yep. I think we'll think about it and then we'll go from there and,
Yep.
the first council meeting after the annual meeting, we typically do vote for positions, who's gonna be the president, vice president, and then that next council meeting will address any new issues and then go from there, so I think that'll work out the easiest. That'll be next Sunday, before church at 9:30. You have something for that, so yes. So the next council meeting, so everybody knows, is next Sunday at 9:30. And if you're late, you have to bring donuts, is the rule. So, FYI. How are we coming on the ballots back there?
I'd make an emotion that we adjourn and we can bring the tally to the meal.
Okay, before we do that, do we have any more new business that anybody would like to? Mike, do you have any new business, or are you good? Okay, just checking. All right. Appreciations and announcements, I think those are in the back. The main thing I would say to look at when you get a chance is the property report that Mike put together that kind of has a summary of all the projects we did this last year. And it's an awful lot. And like I said before, thank you to everybody that was involved physically, financially, emotionally, because a lot of that stuff was kind of stressful. So thank you. And thank you, Mike, for kind of spearheading a lot of that stuff. I appreciate it. Otherwise, I think we could adjourn if we have a motion to do so. Anybody like to make a motion to adjourn? Jacob? Jacob's got a motion. Do we have a second? Dustin seconds, okay. Any thoughts on adjourning? Or any thoughts on the motion? All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye, okay. Anybody oppose? Okay, motion passes. We will close with the hymn, Be Thou My Vision. Kim, you want to start us off? No, Kim does not want to start us off. Christy, since you're standing, you want to start us off? Be Thou My Vision. It's right on the bottom, 793. What's that? We'll just read the bottom? Yeah, all right. Be thou vision, O Lord of heart, not be an else to me, save thou art, thou my best thought, both by day and by night. Waking or sleeping, thou presence my light. Again, thank you very much. Do we want to do the quick Lord's Prayer before we go downstairs? Levi, you want to start us off in a Lord's Prayer? You always do it at the Larson house. Okay, come on, Levi. Yeah, come on. All right. Come, Lord Jesus, be our guest. Let these gifts to us be blessed. Amen. Thank you, folks. Greatly appreciated.